What do you have on your mind here? Like, what's going on right now?
Okay. So right now, if you guys feel like you're worthless, I just want to say God says that you're priceless. And a lot of times in life, we may not feel good enough, we may not have enough, and we may not know enough people. But God will do this. God will blind people that get in your way so you can walk past them. God will change people's hearts and minds so they want you, and God will lift you up no matter what. So just have faith, trust the process, and know that miracles are on their way.
Somebody said hope dealing. Yeah, buddy.
The miracles are on the way. How long does now? Here's this question. I'm impatient.
Okay.
I don't like to wait. How long do I got to wait for this miracle, bro?
So miracles take as much time as they need to. Now I understand that some of us are impatient. So here's a secret: start to have more fun in life. So the amount of time that you wait flies right by. Wow. That's what you got to do. Because guess what? Your blessing's going to come no matter what because it's meant for you. You wouldn't want someone else's mail to come into your mailbox, right? So stop worrying about other people's blessings. Your blessings are going to come.
Right, so I'm getting it. So what I'm getting from that is I'm thinking doing good things for somebody every day. I wake up, I have a good thought. Maybe I think about God. Maybe I think about my family. Maybe I think about people that are suffering in this world. I do a prayer.
Right.
Maybe I do something for myself to better myself, because the better I am, the better I'm going to be to the world.
Exactly.
And I'm continuously growing.
I'm going to start the Zoom meeting
I'm
now.
going to grow into something. I don't know what that something is.
All right, guys. Shane is still talking.
Talking.
I just wanted to remind you all to come to the Zoom meeting. We're about to go live on Zoom.
We are live.
The link, actually, we are live. The link
Look at
is
that
in
Shane
our bio.
flexing.
Come join us, guys.
Yeah,
See you soon.
that was nice.
Got Gina, Sal, Jennifer, Betty, Anthony. We got iPhone in.
I fixed that beeping noise too.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Yeah.
We're good.
Throw me that little stuffed animal.
We're live. Everyone can
I'm
see
having
and hear
issues.
you.
Hey, guys. Betty Joe. Nelly.
Lawrence.
Tracy is in the house. Tracy. Marvin. Alicia. Jennifer. The Hopeaholics.
Yeah.
The Hopeaholics are in the house. We got Hope Dealer Fausto.
What's this?
He's a Hope Dealer.
Stop throwing up gang signs, Shane.
What is that? Angel Wings?
I'm dancing. This is
That's
the
you
hand
dancing?
dance. This is the hand dance. Look at the pretty hand dance.
It's
Look
that white rhythm.
We promise he is not on drugs currently.
He may or may not be.
Questionable. It's UAM.
yeah, baby. Gina's coming online.
Can everybody hear the audio good? Can we get
Sal
thumbs
is
up?
connecting.
Can you guys hear us?
Nelly,
can hear
Betty
him.
Joe. We got Danielle Hill.
Danielle.
I wasn't sure if it was Daniel or Danielle.
It's always Danielle when there's two
There's
L's
two
and an
L's
E.
and an E. So it's Danielle. Danielle. It's a nice name.
Yep.
Danielle.
It's like Michelle and Michael.
Yeah. Robin Richards. Marty.
Marty's in the house. Robin Richard.
Who are these guys up here? Did we say hi to these guys with the beards? They're two different guys, but they got similar beards. Look
We
at
got-
these two. We
we
got,
got,
Anthony,
and
as the
then-
goatee, and then,
And then
we
we
got,
just got regular old iPhone up there.
yeah, this guy's got the iPhone with the hat. He's
iPhone.
smiling.
Yep,
He's smiling.
He knows
He's-
we're talking about
He's
him.
got the Peaky Blinders hat
Yeah,
on.
he got the Peaky
He's
Blinders
got the
hat
Peaky.
on.
Watch out for
Peaky
him.
Blinders.
Well, he loves the movie too. Look at him.
I love the show.
We love the.
Like-
I was just talking about it with my brother today, and the other guy's got the goatee. What's his name?
Anthony.
Anthony. Yeah.
Who's the girl with just the picture?
I don't know.
I think her name's Michelle.
Michelle. Jennifer. Oh, Michelle. Oh, hey, there you go.
Oh, there's Michelle.
She's not crying.
What's going on, Michelle?
And she's not crying anymore.
We can't hear you, but hello.
Did she leave?
No.
No, I think she just
Oh,
moved.
she moved.
Yeah,
We're
they-
just getting people.
They move. Oh, look who just showed up. Oh my
Natalie's in the
God.
Hey, Natalie. There we go.
Is that who I think that is?
Oh, my neck has just got sore.
Oh my God, Eva Marie
I am here.
is in the house.
Yes.
How'd you like my singing right there?
It's as good as mine.
Okay, it's, Shane actually can sing, and Fausto might be able to sing
I'm
too.
a terrible singer.
Fausto's a dancer, though. Fausto has one of the world records. We didn't even share this with you. He's got one of the world records, or close to it, for skipping, for rope skipping, right? Skipping.
I can skip, but I can't dance.
Okay,
He can skip.
Here's the
Oh
thing.
my gosh.
Yeah, one of the world records. He can do incredible things with a rope.
In America, we don't call it rope skipping.
What is it called?
Jump rope.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was
Canadian.
painful.
Canadian.
Just want to remind everybody that
Amy in the house.
that Shane is Canadian.
Canadian. Amy's got her phone number 816-872. We can't see the rest of it.
It's a 876-530-9.
Jenny.
You guys got some music?
Yeah, you know why he does that? So I'll shut up.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I hear that song, I just start dancing.
Right.
Who's the people in the snow? Because I wish I was in the snow right now.
I was in the snow 20 minutes ago. I did a cold plunge.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long were you in
I
there
went
for?
home. I was tired. I went to do a cold plunge. So I didn't have to take caffeine. I was in there for 10 minutes at what? No, it was only 47 though.
That's not cold.
That's not a cold plunge.
That's
That's like,
cold
that's like a
shower.
bath.
It's supposed to be like
It's like a
37.
warm bath.
No, stop
Has
it.
to be
It's
below
still
37.
It's still pretty cold.
47 still super
It's
cold.
still pretty cold.
I don't know.
It's not-
He's
I was-
wearing Natalie. No, listen.
He was about to tell you I wear foot.
He's wearing
protectors.
foot booties and hand
Not foot, just toe booties.
and gloves.
Just for my toes and for my hands. I'm sensitive.
It was semi okay when I thought he was getting into the 37 plunge, but now at 47, no. Take the booties off and take the gloves off.
Wow. What do you think? Natalie's laughing at me. She doesn't want to say anything because she wants to make
Well, I'm
fun.
not, you know what? Because I can't remember which doctor. I don't know if it was Dr. Rhonda Patrick or another one had spoke about. Oh no, I don't think it was her. But the booties, like if you cover your hands or your feet, you're still getting all the benefits.
And I agree because the zones are under your armpit, above your chest, and the back of your neck.
Of course.
Those are the zones where you feel to get the danger, and your body creates those enzymes or whatever you get from it.
Of course, Shane agrees. Shane agrees with everything.
And Natalie, thanks for being diplomatic.
No, I got you.
No, I know you do. Thanks. I appreciate it.
She's got your back.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I need somebody in here. It's unbelievable. It's not easy.
Only on this one.
It's not easy being Jewish.
You're what?
It's not easy being Jewish.
Shh, shh, shh.
I thought you were Canadian.
He's both.
You're Canadian
He's got
Jew?
he's got a double.
Bless you.
Bless me, that was
Canadian. That was just sound like Kachu, right? So I said, bless you.
Canadian Jew. Bless you.
I hope the rest of y'all are laughing because that was
Nobody
really
caught it,
funny.
huh? Nobody caught it.
Really
caught
funny
it.
to me. Kachu.
Oh, that's funny. Kachu. That's
Kachu.
what I. Kachu.
That is short for a Canadian Jew, right?
Yes, that's what I
Okay,
said.
I got it.
Then I said, bless you.
I
That's
love
hilarious.
this. I love this, you
Oh
guys.
my goodness.
All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get started.
Yeah.
We got enough people in here
Yeah,
in
thank
the
you for
room.
taking care
Y'all
of
don't
us.
have to turn on.
Canadians have good bacon. Yes, we do.
Take his Canadian card. That's not cold.
Canadians have
Nice.
good
I
bacon.
like this Marvin guy.
Yeah, that's true. Marvin Williams.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, you guys don't have to turn on your cameras unless you want to. I would like to start off with this meeting with saying welcome. It is a privilege and an honor for the Hopeaholics to have this Recover Out Loud Zoom meeting every week on Tuesday night. You guys have no idea how amazing Shane and I feel.
Yeah.
And me.
And Natalie.
Holy smokes! Wow. Oh, well, you know what? I'm kind of in shock right now. Because Chad usually isn't like that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just gonna say he's had a rough day. And yeah.
I'm gonna chalk it up to this is what happens when I'm not in the studio.
Right.
Yeah, I was.
Out of mind, out of sight.
I'm not even
out
gonna
of,
say
out of
anything.
sight, out of mind, or
The
whatever.
Hopeaholics, just
Out
so
of
you
sight,
guys know,
what
the Hopeaholics cast of
Yeah.
characters
Yes.
is Shane Earn. That's at Shane Earn
Yes.
on Instagram.
Right.
You've got Eva Marie and
That's right.
Chaddock with 4 T's.
Chaddock with 4 T's. That we're
Yeah.
all that. Those are our
T.
characters.
Yeah, those are our characters.
Actually,
They are.
but for real, guys, we're super honored. I love this meeting. It really, really helps me as much as it helps everybody else. We're super stoked. Well, I want to actually go a little bit more into the Recover Out Loud. Recover Out Loud is a movement. It's not a recovery program. I just want to remind everybody that this is a good place to come as an add-on, as an extra to whatever you normally do for your recovery on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Natalie, did you go to a meeting today?
Today I did not.
Did you go to a meeting yesterday?
Yesterday.
No.
Oh. Calling
But how many
quick,
meetings-
quick, calling someone else. quick.
I know. I'm like, hold on. Today's Tuesday. I've been in town for like 30 hours.
Sorry.
Right.
I know. It's our fault. And
You're right.
Come on.
and you're leaving town again. So
Right.
I know.
in less than
All
24
right.
hours.
All right.
So
I
my,
know.
my point
Your
being
point
is,
being is
please continue going to 12-step meetings if that's your meeting of choice. Whatever it is that you do on a daily basis to to stay clean and sober.
yeah.
This is like that little extra that
It's like
you
that
know,
artificial cherry that's not good
to,
for you.
Well, we try to give that little extra motivation, that little extra discipline,
Yeah.
that little extra mindset to propel you further than you can go just with your traditional recovery program. The Recover Out Loud is a movement. We're all banding together and recovering out loud because too many people, when we recover quietly, too many people are dying. Super stoked to have Hope Dealer. Hope Dealer is what he's called.
Yeah.
Hope Dealer is what he does now.
Explain to people also about the YouTube, and this is going live and it's streamed, so it's going to be here forever.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why it's if you don't want your video on, it's all good.
Yeah.
Just you can listen.
Who is that? Oh, Natalie. That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Sorry, I forgot already.
It is.
How are you gonna do me dirty when I just had your back?
know.
I was just. Oh, you know
know.
what? Come on, man.
Seriously.
Canadian Jew.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Those
Yep.
Jewish people.
So, Natalie and Shane are correct, though. This is streamed live on the Hopeaholics podcast YouTube channel, and it will be there forever.
Yeah.
We don't take our podcast down, so just wanted to remind everybody that.
Share appropriately.
Yeah, or share however you want to share. I don't care.
Yeah. we don't care.
So, but tonight we're super excited. We got Hope Dealer Fausto in the house.
Yeah.
He's gonna tell. You're gonna share for about 20 minutes.
Cool, got it.
Go to about 6:30, and then at 6:30 we'll open it up for
Beautiful.
participation, which is our favorite part.
Sweet.
Yep.
All right.
All of it is your favorite part.
Yeah, you're right. It's all our favorite part.
You don't want me to make Fausto feel like his part isn't as important.
It's okay.
We are where our
Even if you
heads
say I'm
go,
important, I
we're
won't feel
seriously
important.
All of us, it's hilarious. Our minds.
Right.
We don't
You're-
think right, guys. We don't. Our first thought is always wrong.
And I can tell you, I've heard Fausto speak before. His first thoughts are always wrong, just like mine.
For 6 thoughts.
Yeah.
Ask my girlfriend. She'll point it out.
I see your girlfriend right here.
She's like, yeah.
Oh yeah, there she is.
She's like, yep. His first
she's
thoughts.
logged on. Nice. All right, man. The floor is yours.
Go ahead, brother.
We're gonna be quiet for
Yeah.
a bit.
All right. All right, guys. So my name is Fausto Castellanos. I go by the Hope Dealer, and I got a sobriety date of October 22nd, 2017. And for that, God gets all the credit. And the concept of God for me is always changing because for me, it's when I'm desperate, God is the gift of desperation. When I'm lost, he's the gift of direction. When I'm around Shane and Chad, it's a group of drunks. And when I'm around a bunch of drug dealers, it's a group of dealers. So for me, it's the way that God has spoke to me. And that's the beauty, I think, of for me for AA is it gave me the ability to figure out what that was, and it was never forced on me. And so now I just want to share that with you, because sometimes the word God can push people away, but it only does that because of your perception of God, because someone used it for power instead of love. And so I just ask everyone today to have an open mind as I speak and share my story, and hopefully something I said is what you prayed for. So for me growing up, I always grew up as the shy, insecure kid, not feeling good enough, feeling stupid, feeling unwanted and unlovable, because my father was never around. He's very abusive. You'd call it a narcissist. So growing up in a narcissistic home with my father, always wanting his love and never getting it, made me seek for it outside of the house. And so any male figure in my life I would gravitate towards. And some of the first ones that I gravitated towards, one of the boys molested me. And the part that messed me up about it was I didn't feel wrong, because I felt like I was being desired for the first time. And I was 7, so I had no idea what was going on. So for me, I was like, wow, I feel important in this moment. But it was the next day when the kid went back to bullying me that I felt like maybe it was a mistake, that I did something wrong. Even though I was taken advantage of, in that time I thought it was me. And so shame, fear, and guilt was born in that moment, which allowed me now to have to create this idea of I need to lie, I need to manipulate, I need to pretend, and I need to people please to not be rejected. Because to be rejected is to be remolested. That's how it felt for me. So I created these character traits, which got me through elementary school. And then in middle school, I discovered love. A girl liked me. And so for me, this was very important for me, because at the time, I was questioning my sexuality due to the abuse. And so when this girl liked me in 7th grade, it made me feel like I was cured. Like maybe what happened to me didn't happen. The problem though was that's where my codependency was born, but I didn't know. And so when the relationship would fail, to me, it was like the world was falling apart. Like maybe she knows I was sexually abused by a male. So when the relationship would end, I would self-destruct at this point and try to change my appearance. So I became a punk rocker to try to stand out, and maybe this would fix me. And I met a girl, I thought I was fixed. And then when she broke up with me, I thought she knew too. So I became a skateboarder the next year, started working out. Maybe this will fix me. Then I meet a girl and I go, okay, I finally figured it out. And then when she broke up with me, I felt like, I can't keep on doing this. I can't keep on, trying to hide this secret, because all these women must know what happened to me. It's maybe because I'm not meant to be with women, I felt like. Maybe something about me wasn't manly. And so I tried to get out of school, because I thought everybody at school knew I was molested. And so at this point, I faked my own death, which it didn't work, because people will go to your house to check in on you, and they saw that I was alive. So then I told my teacher I was hearing voices to kill people to hopefully get out of school. And what that did is it got me 5150'd. So I get into the psych ward, I get out, and I get my wish. They said, you don't have to go to school no more. You can do independent studies. So to me, it was like, cool. I don't have to worry about putting myself in the school system where people know what happened to me. And at this point, this is when somebody introduced me to alcohol. And to me, it was like all my problems were gone. I felt seen. I felt heard. I felt understood. I felt confident. I felt a part of. I felt like for the first time in my life, I didn't want to kill myself. Because since 7 years old, I thought about committing suicide. And it was a relief to feel like, maybe there is a reason to live. And so alcohol wasn't a bad thing. Alcohol was a tool for me to live. And that built curiosity to drugs. And so I started doing ecstasy. I got into cocaine, I got into crack, and then I got into meth. And when I was under the influence of meth, I got molested. And so that problem too messed me up, because I was like, well, this must just be my truth, that this happens to me, and it must always be my fault, because it felt right. And at the time, I didn't realize that, it's just a biological experience of what was happening. And being under the influence of meth as a 14-year-old, I had no idea what was going on. The person was 58, and so he's the wrong, but I feel like I was in the wrong. So I shamed myself. I tried to get out of the situation. Luckily, I did. And then I became the party guy from 14 to 18. Parties, house parties, festivals, beer pong, just being that guy, because I wanted to escape my reality, and nobody could know, because everything was my fault, I felt. And so at 18, I met another girl, and I thought I finally fixed the problem. 21 years old, what happened was relationship falls apart, and at this point, I thought she must know what happened to me. And I tried committing suicide, because I just didn't want to live no more. I didn't want to fight this fight that I felt like life gave it to me, because I wasn't good enough. My dad's still not coming back in the picture. I'm drinking and I'm using and I'm drinking and I'm using, trying to run away. And then at this point, I overdosed on 20 pills of ecstasy. And so I wake up in the hospital. They found me in a ditch, and I had a wake-up call to calm down because I didn't want to get locked up. So at this point, I start working out again. I get the GQ model look. I become a bartender. I start taking steroids. And at this point now, I'm thinking like, okay, maybe this is what's going to fix me. And I found some happiness in that. But really what it was just temporary, because I was constantly chasing the new thing, the next thing. And then a girl comes into my life and I go, all right, I am fixed. This is it. Finally, nothing matters now in the past. It never happened. And when I got cheated on after 2 years in that relationship, this wasn't the first time me being cheated on. I've been cheated on 20 times. And for me, being cheated on is worse than being molested, because that's just my story for me. And so being cheated on for me, it was just like, you know, I'm meant to be hurt. I'm meant to be betrayed, because these women know I'm not the man that they want to be with, because I'm not manly, because there's something that happened to me and they know. And that's the thing that emasculated me. And so it's just this haunting feeling of hiding, this haunting feeling of wanting to die, this haunting feeling of depression and anxiety and codependency, suicidal ideations. And then as this relationship falls apart when I'm 25, my mom gets cancer and she has to start chemotherapy, and my dad doesn't come back. And I live in poverty, or not, you know, so financial stress, her health stress, I'm over here in my addiction, and now I have to try to man up and take care of the family. But I'm choosing, you know, alcohol and drugs over being there for my mom's chemo. And it was just a bad place. And, you know, and I was not good to my mom during that time, because I felt so angry at life, and I would blame her because my dad wasn't there, even though it wasn't her. And in 2017, I had 30 grand mal seizures in a month. I was overdosing, waking up in different places, get fired from my jobs. I start isolating, and it got really bad. It got really dark. And I just knew that, you know, this was the moment I'm going to take my life for sure, and it's going to work, because I couldn't even see a minute into the future, because I didn't want to live. I was so mad at God that God made me. I was like, God, why would you make me get molested and abused and abandoned and neglected? Why would you give me so many insecurities and negative thoughts and depression and anxiety? Why would you have me be cheated on so many times? Why would you give my mom cancer, not once, but twice at this point, when she was the only good person in my life? You know, why? Why did you make my family grow up in poverty? Why do you make me not academically smart? Like, why? And so when I was screaming out for help, so angry and so pissed, for whatever reason, I had this idea to reach out to a friend who was locked up that I met, and he got out and got married. And so for me, this was like the first miracle, and I was desperate. And so I reached out for help, and he picked me up, took me to his place in Fullerton, and he read some scripture to me. And remember, I'm not a religious person, and I wasn't going to church at this point, but I was not like against it. So when he read the Bible to me, what I got from it was that God gives his strongest battles to his strongest warriors. And it was the first time for me that I felt relief. Like, I had a migraine headache for 25 years, and everything outside of me would not help, no matter what. And finally, somebody read some scripture to me, and I felt like that headache went away. It was because it was the first time in my life that I felt like grateful to be molested, grateful to be neglected and depressed and codependent and traumatized, because I felt in that moment God said, you're strong enough to go through this, to help other people grow through it, because you're chosen to be a voice of hope and reason for these people that are lost. And that perception change gave me a feeling of spirituality, or a feeling of being high on life. And I'm the type of person where I need to feel something to believe in something. And so when I felt that, I got excited. And because I got excited, I said, where do I go for this? And I remember a TV show, this guy went to AA. So I looked it up, went to a meeting the next day. Someone said, do any newcomers want to share? And I said, you know, me. And I raised my hand, and I go up on that podium, and I shared everything I shared with you guys for the first time. And somebody said, me too. And it was that moment where I realized that what God told me was true, that I went through all that for a reason. And the fact that that man came up to me and was vulnerable with me saying me too made me feel like I wasn't alone and that I was meant to be there. And because of that experience, I said, I'll do whatever it takes to keep this. And so I went to a meeting every week. I got the sponsor and I worked my steps. And for me, the steps were easy, but I think God used my defective character of my daddy issues to think my sponsor was going to be my new dad. So I did what he said. But I think it was the first time my people pleasing actually blessed me, because when I got to that 4-step, this part's the heavy part too. When I got to the 4-step, I was able to write all the traumas and the pain and the resentments. And my sponsor was going over it with me, and he was like, okay, so now it's time for you to let go of these things. And I remember being very angry, like, okay, how am I supposed to though, like, forgive my exes for cheating on me and using me and abusing me and all that stuff? And then my sponsor goes, well, you have a part in it. And at first I was in denial. And then he goes, look, dude, you're a drug addict. You're an alcoholic. You lie, you cheat, you steal. What type of person do you expect to date being like that? And it put clarity that I realized that, I was the toxic one and that I was choosing toxic people because that's all I knew. And so the reality was, from the moment I started dating them was the moment it was a red flag. Once I realized I was able to forgive. Second thing was my father. And I remember thinking, okay, like I get it. Everything happens for a reason, but my dad still isn't coming back in my life. He was not there for my mom's cancer. It really fucked me up. Because my dad not being around is why I never feel good enough. It's why I have conditional self-worth to seek people's affirmations and validations to make me feel good. And it's never enough. The reason why I'm an entrepreneur, the reason why I'm an entertainer, performer is because I don't feel good enough. It's what fuels me. And so it was in those moments that I was just pissed off, because why would he do that? I'm his son. Why would he not be there for me? Why would you even have me? But then I realized at the end of the day was my father had a drug problem, an alcohol problem. My dad had the same trauma as me. And he hasn't told me that, but I found out. And it made me realize, if I never got help and I had a kid, I probably would have done the same thing my dad did to me. And so it made me be able to accept, who he was for who he is. And I had to understand that he may not be the dad I want, but he's going to be the dad that he is. And if I don't forgive him, I'm going to become just like my dad. And I was becoming just like my dad in every relationship. And I didn't want that. That's the last thing I wanted to become. And so what I learned was what I don't forgive, I become. And so I forgave my father. And then when we got to the trauma, which I'm sure a lot of us have, being molested as a kid, this was hard because I was like, you better not ask me what's my part. I was a kid. And he goes, you do have a part. I go, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. He goes, look, does holding on to this pain affect your, sex life? Does it affect your intimacy? Does it affect your ability to connect with men and experience love and give love? And I sat with it and I realized, yeah. See, for me, the idea of being loved, I couldn't receive because of what happened to me. Anytime a male figure would come in my life, I would fear what they were going to do that to me, which made me push them away and not allow people into my life. And intimacy was just so jacked up because it was just my foundation of intimacy was built on rape. And so he told me, if you understand that the only part that you have is holding on to this, and you can forgive because it will allow you to experience love, to give love, to get close to men, and to be set free from all this, would you do it? And I sat with it. And I thought on it. And I said, I'll forgive if that's what it's going to give me. And I realized, hurt people hurt people. And he's just another hurt person that didn't get help. And unfortunately, it was taken out on me. Doesn't make it right. But the reality is it happened. And what am I going to do with it? And so I forgave. And when I forgave, I felt a weight lifted off my shoulder. And all of a sudden, I started to experience so much love and joy in my life and the people around me. And I realized a lot of my problems in life that I thought people didn't care about me was only because I didn't allow them to. And so for me, it was life-changing. I finally felt like I didn't want to kill myself with, and I didn't have to run away. And so in that 4th step, it really helped me let go of all that and find purpose in it. And when I found purpose in it was because in AA, I was able to help out other men with similar traumas as me, addictions as me. And in these past, almost 6 years of being sober, I've literally have just used all my pain to manifest a career as a counselor and a speaker and an author, as a life coach. I've used my pain to open up doors for me to, meet with amazing people. I've helped out families and kids and friends. I've done a ministry with it to help out a lot of people. And it was beautiful because everything I wanted in life that I thought drugs and alcohol would give me, sobriety gave me, and I didn't have to pretend to be someone else anymore. I didn't have to, lie, cheat, or steal, or try to perform. It was just me being myself, and all the right people came into my life, and all the right opportunities came into my life. And I think the beauty of it too was because one of my biggest fears was, I've had a lot of success and met with a lot of celebrities and traveled the world and been on TV and all that stuff, but that's not what keeps me sober. What keeps me sober is going to a meeting and having a sponsee and walking up through the steps. So what people don't realize is when they see me, they don't understand what I do when no one's watching. I'm always helping people because I know without that I'm going to relapse. And being humble has helped me a lot, and having mentors for different walks of life helps me a lot to not only just get sober, but to keep my sobriety. Because it's easy to get sober, it's harder to keep it because life gets lifey. And a big thing that was a fear of mine too was I didn't have any emotional regulation or strength to walk through painful stuff. And so I was always afraid of okay, well, if this happens, I'm probably going to relapse. So hopefully it doesn't happen, because who wouldn't? But the reality is a relapse for me means I'm probably going to die. And in these 6 years, my mom got cancer again when I had 8 months sober. And I remember being so mad. Why would you do this? And then God said, now you get the opportunity to be there with her because you weren't last time. And she beat it. I needed that. Second thing, I almost died. I had a grand mal seizure after my cousin died at the gym from a seizure. I had one right after pulling her off of life support. And I was half brain dead for a month. And I'm back to normal again. I ran into my rapist for the first time at the funeral after me being half brain dead. And I didn't hurt him. My aunt died right after that from a seizure, same thing. And we got through it. I've lost jobs, got through it. I've been cheated on, got through it. I've lost homes, got through it. I've been betrayed and hurt, and I got through it. And I would have never thought I can do that. But it's because of the people in AA and God that were there with me every step of the way. See, the pain was still painful, and it still took a while, but people in AA sat with me through it, they walked with me through it, and they hurt with me through it. And for me, what keeps me sober today is AA and God in my community, staying open-minded, humble, and willing. And, for any of you guys that are watching this, I'm a perfect example of somebody that has social anxiety still, who still has codependent habits with depression. I don't think I'm good enough. I think I'm stupid. I have a hard time taking compliments still. I have a hard time functioning. I burn out. I get compassion fatigue because I still care what people think. And, but for whatever reason it is, because I sponsor people and go to meetings and show up, I'm still sober today, and blessings keep on coming in my life. And so for anybody that's watching here, just know that, however you feel today, just know that it doesn't matter if you don't feel good, because God has your back. If you don't believe in God, it's okay, because God believes in you. And just know that there's purpose to your pain, and there's hope for everybody in this room, that no matter how bad you feel, life will get better. And if you just learn to find purpose and forgive, you'll find meaning in life, and you'll find connection. And connection is the opposite of addiction. And I just appreciate all you guys listening to my story. Hopefully something I shared spoke to you. Hopefully you know that you matter and you are loved. And I'm just really excited to hear from you guys, because you are the reason why I stay sober. And just like the Hopeaholics right here too, they're a big reason in this season of my life that I'm able to stay sober, because I pray for things and God always answers it in mysterious ways. So thank you.
Thanks, man. It's dope.
You know, Instagram Live there?
Yep.
Wow. Took me on a fucking really crazy roller coaster. Well spoken.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, you You did a good job and busted that out and held it to 20 minutes. Great job, dude.
Natalie?
It's amazing. I mean, super heavy, but it's just a testament that what can happen. And obviously, you're a miracle and a testament to that. Your story was, it's dark. I'm not gonna lie for sure, but there's so much hope in there, and I loved it. So thank you so much for sharing and being so vulnerable and open with everything.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, you were getting a lot of love and a lot of comments on the live video. So, keep it up, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't checked him out, what's your Instagram?
Hope Dealer Fausto.
Hope Dealer Fausto.
Fausto.
FAUSTO. Hope Dealer.
Hope Dealer Fausto.
I mean,
And
you
you could drop us a
just-
DM in our chat or at Shannon, and we'll hook you up with Fausto if you want to talk to him or anything like that.
He's got a good story, man, and I've heard him speak live. He's a great speaker.
Yeah.
He's a DJ.
Magician too.
He's a magician and a rope skipper.
Jumper. And a jumper.
And I'm Canadian and Jewish.
Catch you.
a jump roper.
Wow.
Yeah, man, I am super excited for the next round here.
Yeah.
Man.
I want to, yeah.
Does anybody want to share? If you want to
Yeah.
share, please raise your hand.
Yeah. There we go.
All right, we got somebody's
Tracy.
hand raised already. Miss Tracy. Hi, Tracy.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey, I really just wanted to say thank you so much for your testimony. My son's story was very similar to yours. He was molested starting at 10. I didn't know about it until he was in his late 20s. We never got over it. He never got to the point that you're talking about where he could forgive. He had a lot of anger and a lot of self-doubt, and he believed in God and he prayed and asked, in his final days, his last relapse took his life, but he always told me, Mom, I just can't take the pain anymore. And just hearing your story just makes me feel better because I know my son's not in pain anymore. And I know he's in heaven, and the things that were done to him aren't affecting him anymore. And I just want to say I'm really proud of you for what you've done and how you've gotten over it, because I know it's not easy. I watched my son battle for a very long time. So I just wanted to say great job and keep it up. People need to hear your story because there's many people suffering. I didn't know. I had no idea. My son hid it from me for years. And I was a very involved mom. I was, he was a basketball, football, homecoming king. I mean, he did everything. And I was involved with everything that he did. And somehow I missed it. And yeah, I just wanted to say that was a great testimony and kind of hit hard there for a minute. But I just wanted to say thank you very much for sharing that. And please keep sharing, because I know there's many people out there that need to keep hearing it and knowing that they can get through it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thanks, Jen.
If you guys want to check out her son's story, he's on the Hopeaholics. His name's Bobby. He's one of our first 10 podcasts that we ever did. Amazing young man, a good friend of mine, and yeah, he lost his life to his pain, man. And I attribute all of that stuff. Like I had to reflect back yesterday on 1 year ago, right? I had to reflect back. I didn't have to. I was able to reflect back, and my son-in-law was in pain, and I have no idea what it was. I can only tell you what my pain was. And I know my pain. I have similar stories to yours and Bobby's, not quite as bad, but and my mom was a very involved mom, Tracy. So these things happen to young boys and young girls, and older people as well. And these people are predators, and they know exactly what they're doing, and they know how to do it. And those are some of the painful things that we get to walk through today, and those are part of our story. And I feel blessed to have had Bobby in my life for the time that I had him in my life, because he changed my life. There's no way that I would be sitting in my office with a championship trophy from our basketball tournaments, and that was something special that Bobby gave me, because one of the things I always wanted to do was to play basketball with my son, and I just wanted to play a season with him. Little did I know we were going to win a championship, and Bobby gave that to me. And it
was a special one.
And everybody knows that my daughter and Bobby, and it was our semifinal game, is when my son-in-law died, and Bobby gave the most beautiful pep talk to us. And my daughter was there just hours after she found her fiance dead. And that was a year ago yesterday. So, there's a lot of pain in that too. If you guys get a chance, please go watch the podcast that dropped yesterday on YouTube or Spotify. Anyways, anybody, lots of people.
I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me.
Can you go over one more to Rachel Vaughn?
Hey guys.
Oh, hey buddy.
How you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Blessed that God woke all of us up today. So I'm grateful to God for that. So aside from you guys knowing that God that I got paralyzed from shooting heroin 6 years ago, I can relate a lot to this story because I was molested when I was 7 or 8 as well. Mine was by an older male cousin of mine, and that left me kind of wondering and experimenting sexuality throughout my life. And when I didn't know, or I didn't remember about it because my PTSD did such a good job that I didn't really know about it or remember about it until I was in counseling. And when I was like 30, I was like 30 or 31 when my counselor, I did a 40 question questionnaire, and we found out that way, and I was in total shock. I was ashamed. I was mad. I was sad. I was a bunch of these different emotions, and I was just glad that and grateful that I was in counseling. And my mom, my parents, they were very much a part of my life. My biological dad, he was an alcoholic, and he was abusive verbally and physically. He didn't molest me, but he was an alcoholic and he was abusive to me, my mom, and my sister, my older sister. And my mom divorced him when I was about 3 years old, and I'm grateful for that. And he was a drug user as well. But I divorced him when I was about 3 years old. And about 2 years later, she remarried to this amazing guy who raised me and adopted me and my sister. And he's the one of the biggest blessings of my life that I'm very grateful for. And due to my PTSD doing such a good job, most of my drug using and drug use was by choice, and it was to not necessarily to mask my pain that I knew of, but kind of at the same time, if that makes any sense. And I attempted suicide 5 times in 2018 for various reasons, and a lot of things played into it. As I'm sure a lot of things played into you and your suicide attempt and all that. And I just
Where'd he go?
What happened? Who's next?
Rachel Vaughn. Rachel Vaughn is up.
Oh, I got a
Hey, guys.
bite.
Hi, Rachel.
I can relate to some of what you said. I was in the middle of typing a paper, forgot to turn on the Zoom, so I missed the very beginning, but I did catch where you were talking about you were raped and then you saw your rapist at the funeral. We just had the 2-year anniversary of taking my dad off life support this past Sunday. And at his funeral, my uncle was there. Like many others have shared, I was not aware of that. I always just remembered like he creeped me out. I think I was 22 and drunk when my cousin was talking about how he had molested her, and it sparked memories that I didn't know I had. I didn't stop then, but I can relate because for me to forgive him, it wasn't, I had to make myself okay with, it's not okay what he did. It wasn't my fault. And then some of the things that my mother said during that time, you guys talk about being moms and you should have known. My mom comes from the old school. And when I was originally told about my uncle's history, there were rumors in the family. And I never thought anything about it. And once I realized what had happened to me, I was so mad at her. Why didn't she stop it? Why didn't she take me away? She knew. I don't remember if I told. I'm not sure. But going into the social work field and taking these classes, I've learned to think, what happened to you? And now, with some of what I see in her, I think, oh, he probably did that to her. And so for me to be able to forgive them both, it's still a tough relationship with my mom. Like, we sent her down to Texas to visit with my aunt so she wouldn't be here for the 2-year anniversary, trying to help get her house cleaned up. I've had a rough day today. And you talk about God, the church that helped me get sober 5 years ago is just down the street. I came home from my mom's. They were at Bible study. Like, I'm in tears. I'm telling myself, I just want to drive around. I want to be alone. I'm saying, no, like, isolation's not the way to go. Like, it's going down the wrong path. Not that I want to use or drink, but I just pulled in and busted right into the Bible study and like got some love and some connection. Like you said, I wholeheartedly agree. The opposite of addiction is definitely connection. And with those things, I was able to come home and get some homework done. And like that weight is lifted off my shoulders. And then when I was like, 8:15, I'm missing the Hopeaholics, I got to get on there. And I heard that last little bit of what you were talking about. Like, God's just really been showing up in my life the last few weeks, like just opening doors and stuff. So I appreciate your share and I can relate. Thanks.
Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah, again, guys, thank you for everyone too that's been sharing so far. I know I haven't really said anything because I'm just really listening to you guys, but thank you for the vulnerability that you're sharing. Thank you for the positive and kind words, and just thank you for everything that you do.
Anthony.
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Great.
Good
How
to
are
see
you?
everybody.
Yeah.
Good, man. Man, listen, I just want to thank you so much for sharing your story, man, and just being so vulnerable. And I found God too. I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. I mean, I hated Christians, I hated God, I hated church for years, but it's kind of crazy because now I pastor a church full time and went from, drugs and alcohol to a biker. I was an MC for a while, and now I'm a pastor full time. It's just crazy, when you just clean up your life and you get sober. And I just want to tell you, man, like, God is so proud of you, bro. He is so proud of you because when everybody else said no, you said yes. And I know that when you step out and use your story, a lot of people don't understand it. Some people even try to attack it. But I tell you what, you're doing great things. And God is just so proud of you. One of the things that, as you were talking, is that um, we're still in this journey of processing. We're still in this journey of going through life. I think sometimes people think just because you've been sober and clean and you found God, like things are just gonna go away. But it's like every day it's a step towards healing. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but you gotta trust the process. I think a lot of people give up in the process, and but you got to keep on going. There is blessings over that wall. There's so much more over that, but we just got to trust our lives and God in the process. But man, I just wanted to jump on here and say that just really appreciate your heart. I would love to connect with you. I would love to send you my book, Letters to My People, Thoughts to Recover an Addict. If you need to give it to anybody, I give it away for free. It's in prisons and rehabs, and just thankful how God has just used it over the years, and just to help people. I wrote a book not to be known or to make money. First of all, you don't make money off of books. I wrote a book to help people, to where I was with depression and anxiety and suicide and all the junk that addiction brings. But man, I just want to say thank you for sharing your heart, and know that you have a brother in New Mexico, and I am cheering you on, my friend. So proud of you.
Thank you, Anthony. I deeply appreciate those kind words, and I love that you said, right, it's all about trusting the process, because I think a lot of the times we're open to it, but we're not trusting it. So thank you for sharing that. Send me that book. Follow me on Hope Dealer Fausto. Get connected with me, and let's see what we can do, man.
Are you unmuting now, Natalie?
You're up.
Hi, Natalie.
Hi guys. I think I got muted because all of a sudden I think the AC was making crazy noise or something. It's hot out here in Texas. No, I seriously, I love this meeting. I feel like it's definitely, I mean, I know Chad touched on it at the very beginning, but like myself, I work a 12-step program, and this meeting is just an addition to that 12-step program because I like to, I guess, cut corners, and you can't really cut corners. So it's funny because I mentioned this in one of our meetings, but I told my husband, I was like, oh, the Recover Out Loud meeting can kind of count as one of my weekly meetings. And that's just not the case. It's just basically a cherry on top of my already program. But your share was everything that a share is supposed to be, I feel like, in the sense of telling your truth. You're being super vulnerable with everything and being open, because that's the whole point of this meeting. Is a lot of us suffer in silence, and that's the problem. And so we need more people like yourself to be able to speak out loud, and know that there is hope when you walk through all that pain, because you're helping somebody else as well. And that's what you did tonight. That's what the beautiful thing about coming together is, no matter someone's story, there's always an ounce of it that you can relate to. It might not be exactly the same, but there's so many things that you said tonight that I relate to for sure. So I appreciate you taking the time. You did kill it this weekend as an MC as well. So kudos to you also. But thank you for being here and sharing.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for being you. You have such a good energy, and you're very humble, and you have a good way of knowing how to make a person feel seen during a conversation. I just want to point that out because that's what I felt on Saturday. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Lots of nice compliments going around now,
Yeah, and
I know. Who are we?
huh? Yeah. Well, we started off the meeting like, bagging on each other. I have to tell you guys though, man, I really love this. There's a saying, because this Recover Out Loud meeting, we've got addicts and alcoholics on the Zoom. We've got parents on the Zoom. We've got loved ones on the Zoom. There's this saying in Narcotics Anonymous, says, one addict helping another is without parallel. Man, you could take that so much further. Like, one person in pain helping another person who's in pain. That's everybody in the world.
Yeah.
And that's what this stuff is all about. That is what this meeting is about. This is what this movement is all about, because family members everybody in the world needs to recover from some kind of pain. This isn't just about narcotics or about alcoholism. It's about the next step in life, man. How do we continue to move forward? Because like I can put down the drugs and alcohol, but I'm still in pain.
And move forward healthy.
Yes, healthy. How do we figure
healthy.
out together as a collective group on how to become the best version of ourselves on a daily basis? I listen to a lot of positive, motivating, Motiversity is probably my favorite.
That's a good one.
I also like this other one called Absolute Motivation. Both of those are found on YouTube. And that's what I listen to at the gym. And, if you just get 1% better every day, that's progress. Tony Robbins, he says this thing. He says progress equals happiness.
Yeah, I like that.
Progress
like
equals happiness.
I like that. Now, you said you went to the gym, but not everyone gets to go to the gym, but even walking, being active, anything.
Whatever
just
it is you do
just start moving around.
Yeah.
Just start moving around.
Nobody has to be as psychotic as I am.
No.
You really don't. You don't. Like, Natalie doesn't get up at 3. She gets up at 5, though, I'm pretty sure, because she's posting on Instagram around 5 a.m. her Jesus calling every morning.
Mm-hmm.
Shane texted me at 2:58 yesterday in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
He texted me thinking about you and your family, because he knew I was going to get up in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was the first text that I received. It's nice to have people in your life that care about you, man. We all go through some really tough stuff. All right, we got another live one. Michael.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Great. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you for asking. Appreciate it. I'm going to keep this short and simple. So one thing for me is everyone uses or consumes alcohol, right? We all have our differences, but addiction, doesn't matter what you use or drink. It's all the same stuff. But for me, what's difficult for me is finding purpose. I've had purpose in the past. I've been successful as hell. I've done a lot of great things, but I lost that purpose. So for the people out there, or you guys specifically, when you lose your purpose, what do you do to regain it?
Fausto, go ahead. I mean, I'm on it this one. I have an answer already, because I've been
Go for it then.
just talking my language. So I mean, I get what you're saying, bro. I mean, I come from a good family, and we have a business in Canada. I got us into 18 countries. Blah blah blah. I came out here, did really well, and then I went bankrupt. I mean, I had to shut down day to day, and I went into a depression for about 18 months. And I'll tell you what, I found purpose in helping someone else. That's just the bottom line. I got a job for someone else. I started helping other people. I could have ran home, and I could have started up to gone back to the family and been okay and making tons. But that was never my happiness. My happiness was creating and making something and helping people and working with people that I really appreciate. And that's what I found here, working it with the Infinity Group. I mean, I just was lucky. God was shining on me, and I found my purpose here at a job, helping people and helping veterans and just focusing on that. I don't know how else to put it. I was just here to help people. That's it.
I agree. I think that our purpose in life is to help other people. You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes, though, to help another person, we've got to help ourselves.
Yeah.
You know? But when we help... Is that now, at least dogs?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Sounded kind of scary. Like someone.
I know, right? Shit, I'm not coming over.
But like when you help another person, you get out of self, right?
Yeah.
And you don't really actually even realize until you start doing it on a regular basis that when you're helping this other person, you're helping yourself even more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know? And then what's even cooler than that is you teach that other person what you just did. So each one teach one, right?
Yeah.
I'm just telling you stuff that I learned from Tim's story, right?
Yeah.
So we teach somebody how to help other people.
Yeah, you knew this already. You're just using the words.
Yeah.
It was already inside of you.
And then you become in alignment.
Yeah.
To your assignment.
Yeah, baby.
There you go.
Right.
You're
right
alignment now.
The alignment to your assignment.
Yeah.
You know.
But it is true. That's why it is like the 12th step is to then, go find somebody and sponsor them. So you're leading them through what was given to you so freely. But I mean, when you're stuck in that rut, and you're feeling like you don't have your purpose, I totally get it, for sure. And it feels like annoying hearing like help somebody else. But it's one of those things where it's like, I'll hit my knees and I'll pray and I'll write and just ask God, like, to direct me. Where am I going? What do you want? How can I serve you the best? Like, what am I supposed to do? And constantly ask him in my morning prayers and meditation, but it's doing the things that were suggested in my personal program when I'm in my lowest to stay on the course. And then of course, get out of yourself, because if you're just thinking about yourself and feeling lost and not having lack of purpose, you're going to be just in your own brain continuously running that hamster wheel and feeling worse and worse and worse. So by helping somebody else, it allows you to have that reprieve, and then you're doing something that eventually, slowly, you'll start to feel better, and then slowly God will appear, and all of a sudden one day it'll make sense to you. Right now it won't, but you just have to keep staying the course and doing the next right action.
Yeah, something for me is everybody already said it. It's you find your purpose in the service of others, because we lose ourselves to the service of others. And then I know, like for me, there's this big word that pops up as everyone's talking. It's called the transition. So sometimes God will remove your purpose because that part is done and it's time for you to, level up. And sometimes we don't want to let go. And so we begin to become irritable, discontent, frustrated because what was good for us, it doesn't feel good for us anymore. And sometimes we question, like, am I doing something wrong? Am I not doing it the right way? But sometimes God is just saying it's time for you to be promoted to something else. And through helping others in that process, it will give you the ability to have the patience until that answer comes. And that's where I think the gift of discernment, and then the gift of just asking God, like, who are the people you want me to work with? Who are the people that are going to take me there? And just continue to help out people through that. And the answers will come through the service of others. And that's been big for me because my girlfriend knows it too. I get super suicidal when I feel like my purpose is gone. In these past 5 years, I thought something was going to happen in my 5th year, and it didn't happen. And she's seen me just want to die, I want to kill myself, I want to drink, I want to get high. And I may be very positive, but on the other end, I get very cynical and like sad and depressed at home. And for me, it was just understanding that I had to, have faith and have different people come into my life and let go of things. And with the patience of that happen, then all of a sudden I felt like purpose came back into my life, and then everything started to work out again. If that makes any sense.
Definitely.
It makes tons of sense. And I just kind of want to piggyback off of that, because like I think that life has many levels, and I think that we can get complacent in a level and get comfortable. And comfortable is not a good place to be. People think
No.
that they need to be comfortable. No, you need to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable and taking your that's why I really love what the Tony Robbins things, because progress equals happiness. Like I do the same thing that Natalie does. I get up in the morning, I do my prayers and my meditation. I ask God to put the people in my life that are supposed to be there. I also ask him to remove the people from my life that shouldn't be there. That could be a scary thing for some people, because sometimes you know that person isn't good for you, right? But yet you keep them anyway. But I ask for that, and then I get up and then I go, and whatever happens in that day is exactly what's supposed to happen. I never sit around home and just do nothing. I do a little bit on Sundays, because that's like my one day that I get a little bit of rest. But I'm also a freak, guys, because like I love to work. I love to create. I love to build things. I love to be involved in stuff. So but I also really truly love my life, and I know what my purpose is. My purpose is to help other people. My purpose is to help other people that suffer with the same thing that I suffer from. And what I suffer from is self. Like, I don't suffer from the disease of addiction. Like, the disease of addiction for me was a symptom of my selfishness and myself, and my self-centeredness and my selfishness. And I still have all these things, man. I am nowhere near perfect, but I pray every day, and I no longer put crap in my brain. I don't put the news in my brain. I'm a Game of Thrones fan, guys, so I've seen that a lot. And then I watch a little bit of I do still put a little bit of gangster rap in my headphones, because I think that you still you still got to keep it a little gangster, so you could put all the good positive motivational stuff in you, but you still got to have a little bit of a tough side to you too, and that's how I do things. Shane,
I'm with you 100%, bro.
Shane puts pop.
I
have a 14-year-old girl. I don't listen to gangster rap.
Shane,
it's pop.
Shane
I listen to that
though.
blonde lady who just had a concert a week ago.
You're a Taylor Swift fan?
Taylor Swift. I listen to 10 Taylor Swift songs a day, going and coming from school.
Somebody's dancing up there. Yeah, I think, is that Michelle? Yeah, it's Michelle.
He's waving. He's waving his hand right
Wait,
here.
What's her name again? Don't know. Put the mouse on it. It is too, Michelle. She was dancing.
Anthony wants to talk quickly.
Anthony?
7:04.
Yep. All right. Last one.
Last one.
Yeah, I really just love what you were saying. I've had those days where I just didn't want to go on anymore. And just finding that purpose and I think there's three things that have helped me over the years is being disciplined spiritually, mentally, and physically. Every day I have to strive for that, because I think as we were addicts, we were undisciplined, but now we have to be disciplined mentally, physically, and spiritually. And so I've learned over the years not to let undisciplined people make me undisciplined. That's why our circle is so important, because I don't think people get it up here where we've come out of and where we're going. So that's what's helped me over the years, is just staying disciplined mentally, physically, and spiritually. That's it.
Thanks, Anthony.
Agreed, man. We could close it on that, because that was facts right there.
Yeah.
Say the thing you say all the time, Shane, that show me your what?
Show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
Show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
And 80% of your problems and joy come from your love life.
Yeah.
Is it? And this is Dr. Drew's
Lifelines.
Love lines.
Oh, there we go. You got the fairy dust. You got the fairy dust
Does
going on.
anybody have any questions?
Yeah, burning desire.
All right, guys. This was a great meeting.
Yeah,
man.
great meeting.
I love you all. I can't wait to see everybody next Tuesday night. Tell a friend.
Yeah, bring a friend.
Hope dealer Fausto's going to help us find our guest for next week.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. So we're gonna get a nice, hope-inspiring and motivating story.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
And it can't be Alika because he was just here 3 weeks ago.
I already know.
I love that guy though.
He's
Yeah.
amazing.
All right, good.
All right, we're ready to pray out.
God.
God,
Grant
me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen. See you guys next week.
All right, guys, stay hopeful.
Well done, Hope Dealer. Well done.
Thank you.
Nice.